Ever wondered how businesses protect their sensitive data? Data protection is a cornerstone of modern business operations and is of paramount importance. In a world where information is the new gold, securing data is akin to safeguarding the crown jewels. A single data breach can lead to monumental financial losses, not to mention the irreversible damage to a company's reputation. Data protection isn't just about preventing financial losses, though. It's about maintaining customer trust, ensuring business continuity, and staying on the right side of the law. A breach in data can lead to a breach in trust, and once that trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. A business that fails to protect its data can find itself facing stiff penalties from regulatory bodies. These penalties can be crippling, and they are becoming increasingly stringent with each passing year. Data protection is no longer a choice, it's a necessity. Now you might be wondering, how do businesses go about protecting such vast amounts of data? Well, one of the key strategies they employ is known as network segmentation. Network segmentation is a bit like building walls within your castle. Each segment of the network is like a separate room, with its own lock and key. If a cyber criminal somehow manages to breach the outer defenses, they still can't access the entire castle. They're confined to a single room. This limits the potential damage they can cause and provides an additional layer of protection for your most sensitive data. This isn't just a theoretical concept. It's a tried and tested approach that organizations around the world employ to protect their data. It's an integral part of any robust data protection strategy and is becoming increasingly important as cyber threats continue to evolve and become more sophisticated. Network segmentation is one of the most efficient ways to safeguard data. Let's dive into it. So, what exactly is network segmentation? Glad you asked. Let's dive right in to understand this key concept. Network segmentation, as the name suggests, is all about dividing a computer network into smaller, manageable parts or segments. Imagine a bustling city. Now, think of all the different districts, neighborhoods, and zones that make up this city. Each area has its own unique characteristics, its own functions, and its own set of rules. That's exactly what we're doing when we segment a network. In more technical terms, network segmentation involves the strategic separation of a network's components into isolated subnetworks or segments. Each of these segments then operates as its own little world within the larger network cosmos, each with its own specific rules, permissions, and policies. But how does it work, you ask? Well, the process typically involves implementing hardware devices like switches and routers, along with software tools and protocols. These elements act as the traffic cops of our network city, directing data packets along specific routes and ensuring that only the right data reaches the right places. Now, one key principle of network segmentation is the concept of least privilege. This simply means that each segment, or user within a segment, should only have access to the resources absolutely necessary for their tasks. This minimizes the potential damage if a segment is compromised. Another principle is segregation of duties. This means that responsibilities and rights are distributed among multiple segments or users to prevent misuse of power. It's like checks and balances in a government, but for your network. So, why go through all this hassle of segmenting a network? It's simple, really. Network segmentation is a crucial line of defense against cyber threats. It's an effective way to limit the spread of malware, restrict unauthorized access, and protect sensitive data. In essence, network segmentation is like building walls within your network to keep the bad guys out. But remember, these aren't just any walls. They're smart walls that allow the right data to flow freely, while blocking anything suspicious. And that, my friends, is the power of network segmentation. Why do businesses choose to segment their networks? Well, there are a number of compelling reasons, and they all revolve around the key benefits of network segmentation. First off, let's talk about improved performance. Network segmentation essentially breaks down a large, congested network into smaller, manageable parts. This helps to reduce network traffic and aids in improving the overall speed and efficiency of the network. It's like taking a bustling city and organizing it into neat, well-planned districts. Each district can then function independently, reducing traffic congestion and improving the flow of movement. Next up, we have enhanced security. Network segmentation acts as a formidable barrier against cyber threats. By dividing the network into separate segments, we are essentially isolating the systems. So, if a cyber criminal were to gain access to one segment, the others remain unaffected. Think of it as compartmentalizing a ship. If one compartment gets flooded, the others remain dry, preventing the entire ship from sinking. Lastly, network segmentation provides better control over data traffic. It allows network administrators to monitor and manage network traffic more effectively. They can prioritize certain types of traffic, restrict access to sensitive information, and quickly identify and resolve network issues. It's like having a high-powered telescope that lets you zoom in on specific stars in the vast cosmos of network data. To wrap it all up, network segmentation is like a Swiss Army knife for network management. It offers a host of advantages, from improved performance to robust security and better control over data traffic. It's not just a strategy for large corporations. Even small businesses can reap the benefits of network segmentation. In an era where data breaches and cyber threats are more prevalent than ever, taking steps to secure your network is not just a smart move, it's a necessary one. Remember, a well-segmented network can be a business's strongest defense against cyber threats. Did you know that network segmentation is often a requirement for security compliance? It's true. Network segmentation, which we've been discussing, plays a crucial role in helping businesses meet their security compliance requirements. Let's take a moment to unravel what this means. To put it simply, security compliance is about adhering to regulations that ensure the safety of data. These regulations are set by various organizations and governments to protect sensitive information from falling into the wrong hands. Now, you might be wondering, what does network segmentation have to do with compliance? Well, a lot. By segregating a network into smaller parts, businesses can better control and monitor data flow. This not only helps in preventing unauthorized data access, but also aids in meeting the stringent requirements set by compliance regulations. For instance, let's consider the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, or PCI DSS, which is a standard that businesses handling credit card information must comply with. This standard requires businesses to secure cardholder data by maintaining a secure network, regularly monitoring and testing networks, and maintaining an information security policy. Here, network segmentation can be a game changer. By segregating the network where cardholder data is stored from the rest of the business network, businesses can apply stringent security controls in that specific area. This not only helps in securing sensitive data, but also simplifies the process of compliance, as the scope of security audits is narrowed down to that segmented network. And it's not just about PCI DSS. Network segmentation can help businesses meet a range of other compliance requirements too. Whether it's the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act for healthcare providers, or the General Data Protection Regulation for businesses operating in the European Union, network segmentation can provide the necessary framework for data security. To wrap up, network segmentation isn't just about securing your network. It's also about ensuring you're in line with regulatory requirements. Meeting compliance requirements is more than just ticking boxes. It's about protecting your business and your customers. In the world we live in today, where data is the new gold, it's crucial that we protect it with all the tools at our disposal. So how does network segmentation impact businesses? That's the question we'll be answering in this segment. Network segmentation, in essence, can influence businesses in two main ways. It can present some challenges during implementation, but it also offers significant long-term benefits. Implementing network segmentation isn't always a walk in the park. It requires a solid understanding of the network's architecture and a clear vision of the organization's data flow. It can be a complex task, especially for larger networks with multiple layers of interconnectivity. The process may involve reconfiguring network devices, which can be time-consuming and could potentially disrupt business operations. This is why careful planning and execution are paramount. But let's not forget the bright side of the coin. The long-term benefits of network segmentation are significant and far-reaching. Once implemented, it provides a robust layer of security to the network, safeguarding sensitive data and systems from unauthorized access. By isolating different parts of the network, a breach in one segment doesn't necessarily compromise the rest. This limits the potential damage and makes it easier to isolate and resolve security issues. Furthermore, network segmentation enhances performance. By reducing congestion and improving network efficiency, it ensures that business-critical applications run smoothly. We all know how frustrating it can be when systems slow down, right? Well, network segmentation helps avoid that. And let's not forget about compliance. Many industry regulations and standards require businesses to implement measures like network segmentation to protect customer data. So, by segmentifying your network, you're not only bolstering security, but also ticking off those compliance boxes. In summary, network segmentation may present some initial hurdles, but the long-term benefits it offers in terms of improved security, performance, and compliance make it a strategic move worth considering for businesses of all sizes. While implementing network segmentation can be complex, the benefits it brings to data security make it a worthwhile investment. So, take the leap, segment your network, and let your business reap the benefits.